Welcome to your new favorite paranormal podcast. I am your host, Kevin Leonard, and with me this time, filling in for Corey, is Seth Converse. Corey is under the weather right now, so you might not see him for a short period of time, but let's all wish him the best and a speedy recovery, and the show will roll on. So, Seth, how you been, buddy? A lot of people that listen to the show, watch the show, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify or wherever. They haven't seen much of you, but Seth is a member of CAPA, so I'll let you go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself.
All right. Where should I start? Like from birth?
I mean,
Should we just? I, I
we
don't think we
try
should do. I don't
we,
think we
we
should do
try
that.
to keep it under an hour, but I mean,
Right. It'd just be a whole podcast on Seth's life, which honestly wouldn't make a terrible podcast, but it gets boring at times. Um, no, so yeah. Then I've been with Kappa for. Are we like going on 5 years now? I think it was
close.
2019. It was before COVID.
Yeah, so maybe it was 2019 or the early part of 2020 when you joined.
Yeah, yeah.
So, wow, the
That's
time
I
flies.
I just thought about that and I was like, whoa, all right, well, cool.
Yeah, time
Oh,
flies.
well, always been happy to be a part of the team. Yeah, I grew up in a small town just around a beach on the east coast of Florida here, and yeah, that's it. I mean, mainly. My father was I'll keep it really quick. My father was a chef, followed in his footsteps. I was a chef for 22 years. I'm retired of that now, and I'm an electrical engineer. I'm also, um, my hobbies are with Kappa and music. Been playing music for hell, 35 years now. I'm a storm chaser for the National Weather Service. I study meteorology on a daily basis. Uh, I'm a nerd, a super nerd. So I still play D&D for the past decades. Um, like comic books, anything nerd, I bleed. So
Yep.
yeah,
All right.
that's a quick little
Little
thumbs up there.
synopsis there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, because we could definitely geek out because you and I are into a lot of the same things as far as like the nerdy stuff goes. So I'm right there with you, man.
yeah.
Um,
It doesn't stop. People are like, well, Magic Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, yep. Like you name it, man. And
yep.
we nerds.
Pokemon cards and everything.
Oh yeah, I still have first edition Pokemon
Oh man, I don't
that
have any
I
first editions. All that stuff was lost years ago.
yeah. I honestly need to sell them. I just need to get rid of them.
But
Nothing I need.
yeah, so we got
Yeah.
a couple of interesting topics that I will pull up here, and we'll just, y'all know how the podcast goes now. So we'll pull up a couple of topics, and then we will, discuss them briefly, and then we will move on. So, Seth, in 2032, apparently, we're not getting destroyed by asteroid 2024 YR4 anymore. I always have to look at the name of the asteroid because that is a name. It can't be like a cool name. Um,
No.
I don't know why. I mean, what is like Halley's Comet? Like the comets have the cool names. Asteroids apparently get a series of numbers and letters.
Yeah, we can come up with all these like hurricane list names every year, but for some reason, the asteroid.
Yeah, the thing that
No.
killed the dinosaurs, theoretically, uh,
Yeah.
doesn't get a name.
No.
But
Like
yeah,
can
so
literally demolish the Earth. Doesn't get it.
right, like
But
destroyed like 70 to 80% of all life. but you don't get named.
right. But it would be kind of weird to name it like Fluffy, like
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, Fluffy.
Yeah. So I think menacing names are a little harder to come up with. Maybe if Tolkien was still alive, we could get those like really good, you know, like
Yeah.
Saruman, the
But yeah, so NASA has significantly lowered the risk of near-Earth asteroid 2024 YR4. This is from the NASA.gov website, by the way, and I will put a link in the description. As an impact threat to Earth for the foreseeable future. When first discovered, asteroid 2024 YR4 had a very small but notable chance of impacting our planet in 2032. As observations of the asteroid continued to be submitted to the Minor Planet Center, experts at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratories, or JPL's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, were able to calculate more precise models of the asteroid's trajectory and now have updated its impact probability on December 22nd, 2032 to only 0.004% and found there is no significant potential for this asteroid to impact our planet for the next century. So, good news to a lot.
yeah.
It's funny when you see like the post. I've seen posts on like Facebook or wherever, and you can't really take Facebook seriously, but all the asteroid posts or whatever, and people are just hearting it or thumbs up. They're like, I'm over it. Let's just have a
It's just
party.
yeah. It's like Tool. Like I just want to watch it burn. Like
Yeah, like people
and
are just over
and
it
I
already.
and I get it. But yeah, it's kind of weird to me that it went like you know, and all the science haters are going to keep this up. They are.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of weird that they're like, oh, it's a 1% chance, and then the next day they're like 2% chance, and the next day they're like 3% chance, and then they're like 0.0.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
that's a
I
bit
can
of a
definitely see it fluctuating until
yeah,
2032, and then the day it's supposed to happen, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's not happening,
sure,
or
yeah,
it does
because
happen.
yeah, because right now they're like it's a bit of a leap, you
Yeah.
know, like we were like 1%, like that's still like
But what
that's a
changed?
percent,
You
huh?
know, I said, what
Yeah,
changed to like, was there some sort of gravitational pull that the asteroid got into that just pushed it, 3 miles to
right,
the north or
right,
south or something?
yeah. Were they just getting the calculations wrong? And someone added a zero where they weren't supposed to, and then was like, "Oh crap! Like,
Right.
what did I do?" Or
Those are pretty
you know,
bad
I
oopsies.
I know, but you find them like you
Yeah,
find them in science. Like this stuff happens because we're like, at the end of the day, we're all still human, right?
right.
So, I mean, we're capable. We're plenty capable of making mistakes,
It's called human error for a reason, right?
right? So, but for some reason, we get if one of us makes a mistake, you know, like especially like at work or something, it's like, oh my god, um,
Yeah.
I can't believe that, and you're just like, I mean, it happened, like,
It happens more
uh,
often than not, I feel like, in different
yeah,
things.
yeah,
But that is a pretty big oopsie.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, my job has to do with like a lot of math and numbers and stuff like that, so I have to be extra careful because like I'm doing stuff with our infrastructure. You know what I
right.
mean?
So one wrong
Like
calculation could mess up a
it
lot.
could it can mess some stuff up. Yeah. So like I have to double, triple, quadruple check everything, make sure like that we're good because I don't want to be that guy at the end of that. You
Yeah.
know, none of that.
And so, and also, um, there was a Loch Ness Monster sighting. Um, I believe it was in October of last year. This wasn't, I believe, a an actual sighting, more of like a blip on our radar that was in their quotations significant. So this comes
Oh,
from scottishDailyExpress.co.uk. A significant finding has been made in the search for Loch Ness, or search for the Loch Ness Monster, using state-of-the-art technology. On Wednesday, the Loch Ness Center in Drumnadrochit revealed that a sizable reading was recently recorded on one of its daily deep scans. Sorry for anyone in Scotland because I butchered that.
I
These
actually want to hear. I want you to try it again.
drumna shit. Oh, drumna shit. Drumna shit. That's literally how it's spelled. Someone in Scotland's
Yeah, no,
probably
I'm not even going to try. I just wanted you to
hitting
keep
their
trying.
desk. That's not how you say it.
They're
It's
like,
not even a Scottish accent.
oh, geez.
I can't,
All right, let's just stop. Don't even.
yeah,
Don't even.
we're
Don't
gonna
piss them
push away
off even
some,
more.
we're gonna push away our Scottish audience. I love you, Scotland. I'm gonna come see you one day. These
Oh, I'd
cruises,
love to.
yeah, these cruises employ advanced radar technology technology to explore the waters of the legendary loch. The radar system is specifically designed to detect underwater objects and formations. For On an excursion in October 3rd, it identified a distinct anomaly in the loch. The exact nature of the findings remain under investigation. However, early research has suggested that they could show substantial underwater presences or potentially large aquatic creatures on the loch bed. According to staff, the unusual reading has called the attention of researchers and enthusiasts alike. With Nessie being one of Scotland's enduring mysteries, the Loch Ness Centre says it could mark a major milestone in the search for the beast. So I wish, I want to one day send CAPA to Scotland and I could stop it there and be happy, but to the Loch Ness and just spend like a week, even if we find nothing, I could walk away with something.
If we went to Scotland to do that, I think I would literally stop there. I would I would be like, I live here now.
They'd have to drag you away kicking and screaming.
I'm not going home. And then I would just hire a company and be like, send me my shit. Just just pack it all up and send it over.
Send me my drum dirt shit.
I'd be no, I'd be in love. I'd be in
Yeah.
love. Like
Yeah. So
um but yeah,
I,
that excites me actually.
Yeah,
The
any of our Scottish listeners, I know we have listeners and viewers over in the UK. If any of you are in Scotland or frequent Scotland, have you or anyone you know had any experiences or sightings of the Loch Ness Monster? Or what do you think about it over there? Is that just something that the Westerners are more fascinated with than the locals over there?
mhm.
Um, I definitely want to go and check it out. Like I said, even if we go and just set up camp on the Loch Ness and just for a week and just kind of go to different spots, like a different camping area a night and just set up our cameras, thermal, something, maybe even like rent out like a boat or a ship or whatever. The loch is big. So you'd have to, if we
Huge.
could get like rent like a charter to just go out and drop like thermal cameras. I know it's been done with far better
Mm-hmm.
equipment than we have, but at least we could say we've done it. And like I said, even if we come back with no evidence, just the experience alone would be rewarding for me personally.
Yeah. Also,
Uh,
also my clan and my family is McMullen. So if you're related to me, let me know. Yeah,
yeah, just send us a flight, because we're all family. So
yeah,
if you're family of his, you're family with us, regardless if you like
yeah,
it or not.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Uh,
You can just put us in your luggage. So, moving back across the
but
pond. Hmm?
Not recently. Not recently though. I'm not flying.
Oh yeah, no,
I,
no, 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 no. No,
for one,
I'm staying grounded for a while until
I
they
don't
figure
fly.
that out.
Yeah, I don't fly anyways. But I was on my way to getting better acquainted and being like, I'm gonna get on a plane. And
And the
then,
universe told
uh,
you no.
and then chaos just happened, and I was like, nope, definitely not
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Forget it. I'm done.
What? Yeah, what even is going on? I mean, that with the air right now, I've actually never been on a plane. So,
Same.
I mean,
I was one.
I've never, not
That
even,
doesn't count.
yeah. Me and Tracy want so bad to travel to Japan. We want to travel to several different places that would require a flight.
Yeah.
Um, but right now, I don't know. Going to Japan, I might risk it.
Yeah, Cleo
But
and I were talking about that. If it's Japan Air, but again, if I fly Japan Air from here to Japan, I'm not coming home.
that's
I'm
I
not
tell
coming
Tracy,
back.
I tell Tracy all the time, you're gonna have to literally drag me away, kicking and screaming from Japan
Yeah, no,
because
and I love their culture. I mean, do I think it'd be the best place to live? No, probably not. But um, their culture is great,
we can
and
adapt.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
and Cleo's she's been dude, she's been so many places. She's been to Alaska, she's been to China, she's been to Thailand, she's been to like she's she was in Japan, but it was just a layover. But still, like uh, she's been in so many places, and I'm just like I'm so jealous, but like also I'm like I'm afraid to fly. So
yeah,
it's like
same. It's like I want to go to all these places, but I'm scared when it comes to planes, and even more so now. But it's like, how are you going to go and experience these places if you're afraid to go to these places? I mean, you
I
can lock me
I got
into
it.
the darkest, hauntedest place that you know, and I'm perfectly at peace.
Same.
But I honestly feel that if I get on a plane, I'm gonna have to be unconscious for the
Yeah,
entire flight, and I would hate to miss it. I would
yeah.
want to look out and see like over the ocean and stuff because
I
pictures and movies that look so beautiful,
yep.
but I feel like I'd have to miss it. It would just wake me up when we're in Osaka or Tokyo
Yeah,
or something.
I can't do that. I told her like if you get me on a plane, I have to have the window seat. I want to look out as we're taking off. I want to look out during it, and I want to look out as we're coming down because like I'm acrophobic, so that is part of it with me. So I so obviously heights is a thing, but I have to sub- submerge myself in the full experience
Right.
in order to make that fear go away. Um, so to the point where I was like, you can't get me on a plane to fly somewhere like for vacation. It's I'm gonna if I can drive there, I'm driving.
Yeah.
Like we can be like let's vacation in California. Well, I'm driving there. I'm
Same way.
driving 3.5 days or whatever it takes.
Same.
I'm driving there. But um, but I was like, but if for some reason, like I got an email saying that you can come fly on the hurricane hunter into a hurricane, I'd be like, I wouldn't have my bags would be packed so freaking quick. I'd be out the door. And she's like, that's like the worst experience because like the turbulence is insane when you're flying into a hurricane. And I'm like, yeah, but like after that, what
Right. It's almost like you
any
experience the
commercial
worst
flight,
of it, so it's going to look like a piece of cake afterwards.
right?
Yeah,
Also, I get
I
to fly
understand that.
into yeah. Also, I get to fly into a storm.
Yeah. And
Like
that's something
one of
that,
my favorite things of all time.
right, like
Like,
something that
come
you're
on,
passionate about, something you're interested in. So it's you
yeah,
get to conquer your fear, um, then make that fear anything after that should be a piece of cake, plus you're chasing a storm. You're going through a storm or whatever. So yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that.
How many people get to say I flew into the eye of a hurricane? Come on, man.
All right.
Like that's insanely cool.
Yeah.
I also like the Titanic thing. That's another thing. I'm huge into history. I love history. And people are like, oh, I can't believe people got on that thing and went down there and it imploded. But like, yeah, if I had a ticket to that, I would definitely be on
You would have been on
it. Are
it.
you kidding? Dude, I and I'm a little claustrophobic and I don't want to be under the ocean, but to have that opportunity to go down and see the fucking Titanic of all things,
Yeah.
how can you turn that down?
Right.
That's that's insanely cool, man. You know, like yeah, sure, I would have been on it and I'd have been dead. But you know what? But I mean, James Cameron went down in that the
Yeah.
exact same club. You know, so it was like, how
It
did
was
they
almost like
know
a coin flip that it would have happened.
that would have
It
happened?
was
Yeah,
just
yeah. But
it's just chance, But I mean,
yeah.
it
It's
all
a
depends
risk.
on what you're all right. It's what you're willing to risk it on.
Yeah, it's a risk. But driving's a risk. Walking down the street's a risk. It's
Yeah.
all, you know what I mean?
I mean, you
Like,
could literally be laying in bed and something happen outside and you comes through your window and you get hit by it.
sure.
I mean,
I mean,
things
dude,
happen.
we get active shooters around all the time. Going anywhere is a risk.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
mean,
mean? But you might as well like make the risk worth it and like see something you really want to see or do something you really want to do. You know?
yeah.
So that's kind of how I think about it. But,
No, I completely understand. So, moving back across the pond, in New York, and this is from coasttocoastam.com. Bigfoot prints found on a snowy New York State driveway. A New York State man was left scratching his head when he noticed what appeared to be a pair of sizable prints on a snowy driveway, and some suspect that the source of the curious markings may have been Sasquatch. The intriguing impressions were discovered by Bill Helms, who serves as the lead investigator for the Catskill Area Society of Paranormal Education and Research, detailing the odd find in a video posted on the group's Facebook page. He had just returned from work and was bringing his recycling bin back to his house when he spotted a weird shape resembling a large footprint on his snow or on the snow. Ever the dutiful investigator of the unusual, Helms measured the mysterious marking and found it was a staggering 21 inches long. Based on a similar impression noticed nearby, his estimate that, well, he estimated that the creature responsible for the prints had a gait of approximately 34 inches. The following day, Helms walked around the area to get a better look at the scene and hopefully spot more of the markings, but there were none to be found. Just one or two weird prints, the mystified investigator mused, and that's it. What do you think Helms stumbled upon his snowy driveway? Weigh in your thoughts at the C2C, the Coast to Coast Facebook page. Um, it was definitely, it had to have been Shaquille O'Neal just, out for a stroll.
well, yeah. I mean, I heard he was in New York that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He called me and was like, he's like, Seth, man, going to New York. And I was like,
Like,
true.
cool. Okay.
Uh, yeah, I think the answer was in that article, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a paranormal guy and has
Right.
a YouTube channel or whatever. Yeah,
Right. Yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah. And I thought it was kind of funny where he went the next day or the next morning looking for more when apparently it was snowing. So why are you going, the next morning looking for prints in the snow after it snowed? Because
right. You
obviously
would be
there's not going to
looking,
be, it's
especially
going to
if
be
you're a
covered up.
paranormal person, you're going to be looking right then and there.
Right. But it's going to be covered up by the snow if it's snowing.
Yeah, that screams to me like 100% hook.
Yeah.
Like looking for clicks, looking for likes, looking for um, you know uh, subscribers or whatnot. You
Speaking
know,
of subscribers, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. here on YouTube.
Yep.
But yeah,
And also
spot,
CAPAparanormal.com.
yep.
I believe we have a section on there for if you need help. Is it?
It's the request help tab. You
Yeah,
just
that's what
click
it is.
on that, fill out the form, and we will be right there ready to help.
Yeah, so
Um,
long as you're within reason.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we are located in Central Florida and Southeast Georgia, but
yeah,
we
we're not
will.
flying to Japan.
No, I mean,
Too.
but
Well, I mean, we
yeah,
would.
yeah. But yeah. So I definitely agree when it comes to that. I am of the belief that there is something. I don't know if it's necessarily Bigfoot or like the Sasquatch as we know or know of. I don't know if it's exactly that, but I do believe that there is something that we haven't discovered or a rare species of something. There's always something
Yeah,
that we don't know. We don't know everything. As much as humans
yeah.
like to claim they know all, humans
Mhm.
don't know. So, I mean, there is vast forest in the United States alone that has never been covered, it has never seen humans or whatever. And, it could be a small ecosystem of creatures that live there. It's unlikely, I understand, but I want to believe,
Mhm.
you know.
And I mean, I have to agree with you on a lot of these things. Like, I think Bigfoot would fall under the cryptidness.
Hmm.
And look, we find new species in the ocean every single day because
Right,
we've only discovered so much of the ocean.
right.
Um,
I think we know more about
and
space than we do our own ocean.
yeah, absolutely we do. And same thing goes with a lot of our forests and stuff like that. Like we don't know what's out there, you know. And I'm fully on board. I feel like there could be something like that living. I don't I don't 100% buy into like everything
Right.
Bigfoot, everything Sasquatch or anything like that. But I think there's a possibility that there could be a creature, something like that,
That some
like
people
living.
have legitimately seen something, you
Yeah,
know,
they're seeing something, and there's the theory that they're like interdimensional
interdimensional.
too.
Yeah.
So that's intriguing to me too,
Because a lot
because
of like the Sasquatch or Bigfoot sightings are in the same locations that there are UFO sightings or like mass UFO sightings.
yeah,
They almost happen around the same time period. So I've heard theories that Bigfoot is just an extraterrestrial scout or, something that
okay.
is
Now we're talking about they're chewy, right?
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
they're popping out of a wormhole and be like, oh, like
Right. Right. I mean, because there was, oh
but
man, I don't know if it was a movie or a documentary. If someone has seen it let me know in the comments, or you may have actually have seen it, but I remember seeing something. It could have very well been a movie and complete, BS. But I
mm,
remember there was a something I was watching and it was about Bigfoot and it was like a farmhouse or whatever. And it turned out that it was just that. Like it was like a Bigfoot that was tormenting this farmhouse, and toward the end there was like a bright light because like Bigfoot was like at the windows or trying to get in the door or whatever. Bright light came down. It was gone. The family goes outside and they see a UFO like taking off. So
oh, Harry and the Henderson. No,
no, no, it wasn't here. That was a good movie, by the way. That's a
it's a
classic.
great movie. I love that. I love that movie. I love John Lithgow. Um, uh, yeah. Um, I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I
if
want.
someone has seen it or knows what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments if that was a movie or a documentary. My luck, it's a
Yeah,
movie and complete BS. But the theory I feel holds some sort of
theory's
weight.
there. Yeah, I mean, it could for sure. Um, but that's the big question, right? Like, it's always the question. It's even with you know, ghosts, which is mainly what we
Hmm.
deal with. We still have, like, there's too many questions and not enough
Yep.
every single time, and it's like, and sometimes it just adds more questions, and you're to the already, you know, uh, like, Bible of questions that we
Yep.
have. So yeah, and but I love that there's people out there, like, just like us, but doing Sasquatch Bigfoot research, and actually trying to get to the bottom of it, and trying to figure this stuff out, because sometimes it's too much. You, Sometimes it's too much to be true, right?
Yeah.
You can't have countless people seeing things in the sky and getting abducted and stuff like that to be like, no, aliens, like, don't. Like, there's too much of that. Same thing with ghosts. There's too much, you know. Like, there's something, we've seen it,
Yep.
they've seen it. There's something there. It's just us figuring out what it is, right?
Yep.
Um, Same thing with Nessie. You know, it's a plesiosaur, right? It's
Apparently.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
anything you see on, you're like, that's a plesiosaur. Like, that's, you know, how did it survive? Well, I don't know. Loch Ness is deep,
It's deep.
but
And
could it survive?
millions of years.
Like, what was a
And
plesiosaur? Look, Cleo would have this answer, but, like, over 65 million. So we're talking.
well, even then, when was Loch Ness formed? You'd have to look at that. What was it before that?
Mm-hmm.
Could it have channeled somehow to the ocean from there or something like that?
Did it
There's
have a
different.
Did it have a mate?
Right.
And is it like plesiosaur incest up till now, right? You know,
Right.
like,
You
what
know, I
is it?
mean, that could have altered its appearance and stuff because, you know, it changed it after a while to adapt to its environment or something like that. I mean,
I mean,
it
yeah,
a lot of different things come into to play, different factors. I mean, you can speculate all day long, you know,
exactly.
I do feel like someone they saw something. People see something all the time over there in on the Loch Ness. And just like we were talking earlier, the vast wilderness in America alone. Think about the wilderness in China, Russia, all these other countries that are just unexplored, uninhabited, that people also see these Sasquatch in different types. You know, you got like the ones that the Yeti, you know, and talking
Yep.
about cryptids, I mean,
Or the
cryptids are sometimes even identified to be real. The Kraken, for many years, you know, sailors on ships would write about the Kraken. They were writing about giant squid. You know, it turned
Yeah,
out to be a real thing. The red man of the
hysterical.
forest. That's orangutan. They were the red man of the forest when they were cryptids, before they were documented. So
Sure.
so many cryptids actually they hold some sort of truth to them, and then they're just
Yep.
cryptids until they're documented.
Right.
Some are
Right.
just, you know,
But
far-fetched like myths, you know, but
yeah,
a lot of it is grounded in some sort of fact.
yeah. There's some sort of truth to it.
Hmm.
Whatever it may be. It may be telephone game, or whatever. Who knows? What is it we have down here? Swamp ape.
Swamp ape, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll all colors of the same spectrum there. But
Right.
yeah, but yeah, no, I mean it's fascinating,
It
like
really is.
all this stuff. Like,
And that's something that's maybe even a little bit more feasible for us to do as CAPA is to go over to Ocala and just, camp out or the
woo,
Everglades, where there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings right in our own backyard. And we can bring the magnetic the magnet line that and we can do some magnet fishing while we're, two birds, one stone, as they say.
um, I don't want to throw the magnet in the Everglades.
You never know,
Not
like explorers, they
not
use the
only
Everglades.
I know they
I,
did.
I,
You know what? I probably would. Um,
I
I mean, I don't know, dude. I've been there. I've stood on the
the
bank.
Everglades are a bit dangerous.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's not only like the gators and stuff that are in there, it's and crocodiles. It's the people out there.
Yeah, that don't want you there.
Man. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and Ocala's not any better. different kind of different kind of scary wildlife, but
Yeah,
um, also the people.
yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's there's something to say with that, right? Because you know we're not scared of any haunted place ever, but
No, and we've been to
people,
oh yeah, definitely. Like we've been to some very haunted locations. And I agree with Chris Williams. Ghosts don't scare me. People do.
yeah, dude, people are scary.
Yeah.
People are scary.
And that's our one of our biggest things when we go to our locations or whatever, when it's not like well, even the residential sometimes, but like when we go to an investigation, like we go to these old jails and the battleship and stuff like that or whatever, you don't know who is hanging out, you know. I mean, the battleship I think is a little bit more safer when it comes to that. They have a night watchman. But the first time we went, that was a thing. When I saw the full body apparition there, I honestly thought it was someone that shouldn't be there. And,
Yeah,
the night watchman actually said beforehand that he saw someone somewhere where they shouldn't be, but never saw them leave the ship. So my first thought went to, this is that person that is on the ship and didn't need to be. So I needed to get them
yeah,
off the ship. But it turned out it was a ghost all along.
yeah. It was Agatha. It was Agatha all along.
Yeah.
We should have known.
Yeah, it wasn't an old man under the mask.
No, no, it was not. Um, well, I wasn't there for that one, but yeah, yeah, from what I heard, yeah, it was. But yeah,
But
like the parking lot on the other hand,
yeah,
like going out to the parking lot to smoke, and I'm like, why are these two shady vehicles hanging out next to each other? What's going on over there?
yeah,
I'm just here doing a paranormal investigation. Please don't shoot me.
yeah.
Like, I'm a nice Seth. Don't, don't.
But I think that's about all the time we have tonight. Thank you, Seth, so much for filling in for Corey. We got to do this again. Um, so with that being said, I usually ask Corey where they can reach him. I don't know if you have like a TikTok or Instagram or anything that you want people to follow.
Um, you heard me on people, right? Please don't,
Okay.
don't message me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I don't really. I just have my my Facebook and my Instagram. It's nothing crazy. I
So
don't
follow
I don't really check
follow
into
the
it.
CAPA page because he's there. That's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
do that. Yes, exactly, exactly. You can find me there.
All
At least a
right.
picture of me there, and
So
yeah.
you can find me at CAPA Paranormal. Just Google CAPA Paranormal. You'll have the Instagram, the Facebook, TikTok, all that fun stuff. We don't really post anything on TikTok, but we should. Um, and you can find me on everything. Well, not everything, but Facebook at Kevin Leonard. And that being said, I have been Kevin Leonard. This has been Seth Converse. And this has been Into the Paranormal.